All right, welcome to the garage for another great workout. So glad you showed up with us today. Hey, so we're gonna get right to the point. Got you a 30-minute workout. Today's workout is really just about movement and repetition. So without really getting into any more words, you don't need anything, maybe a water bottle. So let's go ahead and kick this workout off. Let's start off by trying to really get some fundamentals of just using the whole body when you're throwing your punches, how to get power, how to get speed, how does all that work? Well, let's take a look at things. Usually everything's gonna come from either the abs or the legs. So let's just start off with our right foot in the back, and you're gonna push off your right foot. When you push off your right foot, let your left foot be loose and feel the body moving. You're pushing off of the foot, right? So that energy from the foot is coming out of the body and out of the arm, into the core and out of the arm. So I can push, boom, be loose. When my hips go forward, my foot might move a little bit. When my hips come backwards, foot might move a little bit. You see that? So I'm pushing, boom, and then pulling it back. You're using the legs to push off, use the abs to pull it back. So let's just throw our left arm, your jab, push off your right leg, and let's just go and do this for a little bit. And just work on finding a rhythm. You see, the rhythm means, let's go ahead and just start throwing your jab. You're not gonna stop throwing the jab. Your jab, what does that mean? Just keep throwing it, I'm gonna talk. It's coming off of your hand that's in the front. My left leg's in front, it's that left hand. That's a jab. It's a straight punch coming straight at you. The knuckles and the thumb are turning over as I flex this arm muscle and feel the burn in the arm. The very end of your punch, squeeze those arm muscles at the very end of your punch. And think about locking the muscles around the joints. Nice tight wrist, so when I hit something, I'm not hurting my wrist. Keep throwing it, feeling the burn in the shoulders. Twisting more and more. Feeling the weight as you push off of the ground. So I'm feeling the pressure under the foot to push off. Pushing off of the back foot and the front foot to find my rhythm. I mean, there's a lot of different things. But you're always scanning the body and seeing where you can loosen things up. Where do you have certain leverage points to push off of? And let all those little movements, whether it's the foot or the abs, hopefully this is making sense for you, but let all those little movements start working together so you can kind of put some speed in there. Keep throwing it, man, keep throwing it. It's repetition today. Let's slow it down now. So now it's gonna look like this. We're still working the left arm. See how everything goes slow. I'm gonna start by pushing off. And when I push off, I'm feeling everything moving at the same time, but at a very slow motion, just like if somebody put you on a slow motion speed. Think about how that would look. This isn't fast. If somebody slowed that down, everything's moving at the same time. I'm slowly tightening those muscles up, pulling it back. And watch how my heels move. So one comes down, the other one comes up. As my back one's about to come down, the other one's coming up, pushing off, boom, transferring the weight, body's rotating real slow. Going slow, we'll speed it up here in a second, should actually engage your muscles more. You're squeezing all these muscles, squeezing the floor together, feeling my inner thighs. Boom, squeezing my glutes. My left glute is squeezing to pull my right hip. A lot of this doesn't make sense. Let's go back to going speed. A lot of it doesn't make sense. It's because you got to strengthen those muscles and you just got to keep doing repetition with whatever you do. All right, let's go to the right side. Left foot will be behind me. Find your rhythm. Find that rotation as you're pushing off. See if you can just find coordination within this movement, within this bounce. And when you do, throwing that jab out again. So you don't have to match my speed. If things are feeling awkward, slow it down. And feel your rhythm. You're not moving too much forward. If you are, your body's gonna tell you it's gonna feel awkward. So work on maybe spreading the legs out. And work on different movements or different patterns. What I mean, this pattern could be one if I'm too close and my knees are going forward and this just feels weird and it feels wobbly. Let me take my feet out and see how that feels. Let me take my feet out wider and see how that feels. Usually that's gonna feel better because if I do this from an open stance, let's call it, this is gonna feel a little easier to throw, transfer my body weight still, boom, boom, boom. Nothing changes. And then I just take it to this stance, and it's the same motion. Put some speed to it. You see, if you look at the shoulders and you study pretty intensely, you see all the movements coming from here. My arm is just relaxed. Put some speed to it. Don't forget to turn the thumb over and down. You're always breathing, staying relaxed. Still throwing out the jab, but it's the other hand. Are you sure you're throwing out with that front hand? Right leg's in front. So my right arm, which is also in front, my closest weapon, closest attack, it's going to be the jab, keeping distance between me and my opponent. Slow it down now. Let's try to tighten everything. From this position, what muscles do I need to squeeze to make the punch come out? Instantly, I'm already feeling legs tightening up as they kind of grip the floor and move my body in a certain direction. Let my body weight transfer and move around and find where it feels good. If you can't do it in slow motion, speeding it up, it's gonna feel awkward. If I can do it in slow motion and feel really good with it, feel how my body weight's transferring, boom, bringing it back. Heels up, heels down as I transfer the weight to the left leg. Boom, can you see that? Then come back, twist. Tighten the abs. If you don't know what that means, tighten the abs, you gotta do more sit-ups, you gotta do more planks, so you can feel control. You can feel how to tighten it. And then I can tighten certain areas to squeeze and move my body. Back to speed. You gotta be able to be really good with just, boom, throwing out that lead hand. Keep throwing out your jab. I'm gonna get a little fancy, a little footwork. No matter what my feet are doing, I can always twist my upper body. I can always twist my upper body. So I can always throw a punch no matter what my feet are doing by just twisting here, twisting the shoulders, letting the arm relax. Get fancy with it. And relax. Just a little 10-second break. Let's go to a little bit of a movement just where you can get some understanding about moving. Let me explain. Let's do jumping jacks. Your first option is here. Second option is stepping with it. Whatever feels good for you. You keep moving and I'm gonna talk. You keep moving, doing jumping jacks. Let's see where your awareness is at. So example, if I'm doing jumping jacks, I should be thinking of having a good posture and feel my shoulder blades as they move up and down. Feeling the shoulder blades move up and down, making sure my shoulders aren't clicking. That's what I'm paying attention to. I'm also kind of aware of how it feels to maybe keep the elbows bent, keep space in the shoulders and touch here. Maybe that feels better in my shoulders as far as clicking and things like that goes and rubbing. Or if we're good, we can come all the way up and touch with the arms straight. And then just making sure that my shoulders are moving in a certain plane that is effortless, or that what we want to say slides really well, where there's no clicking or popping. Everything feels good in there. And if there is clicking or popping, you adjust the movement. Maybe your elbow's bent. That's all right. You're still feeling the basic motion that we want, which is the shoulder blades moving within the sockets, and being able to squeeze and manipulate those as we move. That's just talking about your upper body. I hope you're still doing jumping jacks still, all right? You keep moving. This is about repetition. But we will make it effective. That's what I'm explaining to you right now. Now I'm thinking about my feet and how my feet feel. Do I feel like I have good alignment? Are my knees not buckling in? Do they feel like they might need to be driving out? Does everything feel good there as I make this motion of stepping and pushing off the floor? Otherwise, that's where working out tends to not be fun anymore, because we start feeling things feel weird. We don't think that we're doing it right, or we think we're doing it right and that's how it's supposed to feel. And your joints aren't supposed to take any kind of destruction or anything like that. Let's keep going for about another 30 seconds. But everything should always, with movement, should be leading to something where the joints are actually getting better, your movement's getting better, your muscles are getting more activated. So I'm really focusing on how fast when my feet touch, am I already pushing off of the ground? Can I feel the muscles, outer and inner legs that work on moving the leg out and in? And relax. Go back to some boxing. You take a break right now and you can breathe and grab some water. And so hopefully, just with a simple movement like jumping jacks, you can see where there's a lot of potential to where, yeah, you're doing the motion, but how well are you doing it? By how well can you feel your muscles? And then from that point, it just gets better and better. It's almost like eating healthy. Yeah, I can eat, I think I'm feeling good. And then once I start eating different foods, if I eat in a different way, then there's like a whole other quality of, oh wow, this energy is a different experience than before. Very subtle differences in things as far as feeling goes, but you're always growing that feeling. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me give you one more example. Your back muscles. Yeah, you can squeeze your back muscles, but can you be sensitive and squeeze using particular parts of your back muscles? Did you even know you can squeeze right here into that armpit and squeeze? And it's not the lat muscle. It's just a little muscle here that you can actually squeeze and tighten up. And you do that by developing more and more. It took me a year to develop that. But you can learn it faster by being more aware of how you're squeezing and squeezing certain areas within your body. Not always just squeezing and stay. So be really aware of the movements and how you're moving. Let's get back into some boxing. Let's look at your cross. So when you throw your jab, right foot's behind you. When you push off, your left hip is moving forward. So I'm exaggerating it, but this is happening. Now when I'm throwing my right hand, I'm going to push off and throw this right hip forward. So it's a little easier to do. Keep the elbow in front, so that way that momentum can throw out that punch. Boom, boom. And work on just feeling a little bounce out and then coming right back in. Turning that hand over. The more your shoulder can get into it, the better. Just make sure you're not leaning like I am. Boom, twisting, twist, twist. If you don't hit your opponent, that's all right. It's better than leaning into it and reaching for your opponent. Now we're just throwing that cross. Boom. Just keep working on repetition. Keep throwing that cross. I'm going to give you just some more things to look at as far as like the wrist. I'm throwing my punch, yeah, I feel like I got it, or I'm throwing a good punch, but actually, do you feel that whipping motion where it just throws and comes back really effortlessly without hurting your elbow? You're timing that energy perfect right here when it's extended. I'm already pulling it back before it even gets there, so it feels that whip. Now we can start making this movement better by thinking about the hand. The thumb's dropping down, and then I'm just pulling it back like I'm trying to hit something, just like this. So I pull it back, boom, back. As I move it up, you see there's always something going on down here. Slowing it down, heel up, heel down, heel up, heel down. Or you can keep the heel up, just whatever facilitates the movement of that push and coming back. All right, let's go slow with it. Starting here, weights over my back leg. Watch how I twist, everything comes out. You're making this movement hard. Squeeze your back muscles hard and slow. Just know that with repetition, things start to talk to you in your head. You start to feel things. Your understanding starts to blossom. Speed it back up. About 45 more seconds. I'm gonna get a little fancy with it. And relax. relax. Let's take it to the other side. So we can take the left leg back, right leg's in front, and just working on, first of all, without any punching, make your shoulder your hand. What I mean by that is, feel that shoulder pop. Feel how your body throws that shoulder out. Little by little, so just start letting the elbow free up and moving with that shoulder. And when you got that, so it's a lot of balance. Don't be too hard on yourself. You just keep doing it every day. And if you do it every day, like 15 minutes, you start telling the difference after a week. It takes a while, then you start feeling the difference after 3 months. It takes a little longer after 8 months, after a year. You're only teachers yourself. You got to learn how to think about these things. Then you can teach yourself anything. Same application. Breaking things down. Moving from one pattern here to the next pattern here. What does that entail? To do it safely, to do it the best quality. So that way you're fixing your body alignment at the same time. It's just not about boxing. It's about making sure that everything always feels good. No clicking in the shoulders. Realizing everybody's body's different. One movement might be a little different for you than somebody else. Slow it down. Pushing. Squeezing those arm muscles. Let's go back to some speed. Squeeze those shoulder blades down and back. Squeeze that back muscle now. See if you can tell the difference. Chest is up. Boom, and throw it from there. About 45 more seconds. I'll get a little fancy with it. You can keep throwing. I can throw from any angle. And relax. Good job, y'all. All right, we're gonna do another little drill. This one, same thing with jumping jacks. So with boxing, as you notice, if you watch these videos again, you'll see how the feet are always just kind of, they're gliding, they're either sliding or they're pushing off the floor just a little bit. I'm always aware of my alignment with the ankle, which means there's a difference between pushing off from here, notice my right foot, how it's out, and then pushing from here where I got good body alignment. So being aware of those kind of things. There's a difference between putting weight on my front leg when the knee's here and putting weight on my front leg when the knee's straight. Good alignment. You're aware of all that stuff. So what we're gonna do is go back to another jumping jack pattern, moving the arms out and in, and I'm gonna talk as you're doing this and I'm gonna coach you through. So you're doing this movement right here. Your other option, open the arms, the leg steps out. Whatever feels good for you. Even if you're here, you're kind of still getting that bounce off of that foot. All right? Maybe you start getting some motion going if you're on level 1. That way you're still working on that boxing shuffle. All right? So you're moving here, right? Now keep moving. Let me coach you. Notice your shoulders. Are they hunched up? Can you feel the muscle? It's kind of underneath the shoulder that can suck those shoulders down. So from here, I suck them in. I'm just trying to suck in. These muscles take a while to develop. You might start feeling your back muscles pull down to feel that, all right? See if you can feel that. Let's move on. See if you can feel your chest. As you're squeezing forward, you're squeezing the chest, like I'm trying to touch these together, your chest muscles, boom, to make those arms move, all right? Keep the back muscles still squeezed at all times. You're squeezing them down. When you come out, you're squeezing the shoulder blades together now, touching them. So squeeze the chest, squeeze the back, try to suck these shoulders down, keep them away from your ears. You got all that going on. You have your back muscles pulling down the whole time, to help create that space. And then again with the legs, can you feel the butt muscles squeezing every time you push? Can you feel the inner and outer legs? Can you kind of start moving around with it? Ten seconds. And relax. Let's get a little stretch here just to open up the chest, because I know a lot of us don't do this. We're gonna grab the right arm. I'm gonna grab the right arm, that wrist, straighten out my elbows first, and then I want my shoulders, watch how they just rotate back. A little help from pulling. Still not there, still not there. Keep reaching back. Now I'm really feeling it, feeling the separation. You keep holding that stretch. I'm feeling the separation from the shoulder and the chest. Really trying to open this up. Because what's going to happen is they're going to start fusing together. Those muscles are going to start coming together with scar tissue and things like that. So you always got to be going through your range of motion with just not your shoulders, but every body part. You really get this open. If you're really tight, you start with the doorway. You can pull in that doorway and let it externally rotate your shoulders as you're holding it and really push your chest into it, all right? All right, let's go on to our next movement. Let's put that jab cross together and see if you can really understand pushing off one foot and pushing off of the other, all right? We're just gonna do this right here and then we're gonna be done. So today's workout is just a lot of repetition. Hopefully you got your heart rate up, things like that. If you don't, well then good job. You're probably breathing right, you're staying relaxed, and it's just taking these small little muscles, one little twitch should move my body. If I squeeze my abs, punch is already out. And that's all the energy it takes. All right, let's go to the jab cross. Right leg is behind you. I'm throwing the left hand. When I throw the left hand, body weights fall into the right leg. You saw that little shift. When I throw the right hand, body weight's in the front leg. So again, this is the movement I'm doing, just a little shuffle, right? When I feel my right heel touch, left hand. When I feel the left heel touch, right hand. That's kind of the motion. After a while, you just let your body be really loose and then just let it throw it out. All right, let's throw out that left and right hand. It always starts with the feet and the core. Arms are just like wrecking balls. It's a whip. Make sure you're turning them over. Bam. Squeezing at the last second. That way you don't ever hurt your hand when you really do hit something. We don't want to build bad habits. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Maybe you notice the elbows, how the elbows pop up, and that helps your punch, at least for the most part, go out. And then when you squeeze it in, just squeeze your elbow back to your body. Wrists and elbows are really, really good cues for making movements happen. Just like your knees and your hips and your ankles, your heels, all these little points in the body, these little vectors are where it's at to focus on to make yourself look good and then to preserve your body. Keep throwing those punches, repetition. Let's see how fast you can go. All right, so let's slow it down. Squeezing hard, feeling the body weight transfer, bam. As one's coming back, the other one's moving simultaneously. So how do I get the best leverage? Keeping the elbow in front of the hips, elbow in front of the shoulder. Damn. Elbows in front of the hips, and elbows in front of the shoulder. Boom, and it's all unfurling just like a slinky. Squeezing those muscles hard. Feel the bicep on that right arm. Feel the tricep as it tightens out that left punch. Oh, let's go back to some speed, 45 seconds. We'll start showing off a little bit. and relax. All right, last thing to do, champ. Left leg behind you, right leg's in front. And let's start throwing the right and left hand. You can keep this up. You can just keep somebody at a distance the whole time. You know, you're always throwing punches. You're always bringing it back. I'm vulnerable right here. I'm pulling that elbow back just as quick. Boom. And I'm just trying to cover those spots as quick as I can before my opponent can react and get there. I know where I'm open. From here, as soon as I throw my punch, I'm open. I need the shoulder, boom, to come up. And then I'm open. The elbow's got to come back. Now I'm protected. You do got to spend time with these, especially if you want to get real good, and just sit there and work on shoulder up, elbow down, shoulder up, elbow down, and then work on that full extension. Make sure you got that full extension on that punch. Then you got to make sure it's hard. You got to start using the ground to push off of. Turn. Big chest. Sometimes I gotta remind myself of that. Chin's tucked. Chin tucked. Let's slow it down. I'm balanced. Throw my right hand. Transfer the body weight to the left foot. You can barely even notice my weight's on my left leg. Then I throw the left hand, body weight transfers to the right foot. Boom, everything's moving simultaneously. As long as my arms are moving, my legs are moving. Boom, they both drop into that punch. Drop into the punch. Squeeze those muscles hard. Squeeze them. Speed it up. 45 seconds, go. And take a break. Next time, we're gonna go over hooks. Then the next video is gonna be over uppercuts. So stay with me. Let's go ahead and get a stretch in. Let's go back to our most fundamental stretch. At least 3 times a day you should be doing this. Straighten out the arms, watch out those shoulders. Oh, pop back. Come on, not there yet. Now they're there. If I'm grabbing my right hand, I'm gonna switch, grab my left hand, and do it again. Get a little deeper in that left shoulder now. This is gonna combat a lot of what we have, that internal shoulder rotation where it comes forward. We gotta start learning how to push that back, stretching out the chest, working your back muscles when you go to the gym. Arms straight up. Ooh, see how far you can reach it. And then we're gonna bend over, and I'm always reaching out of my head. Like somebody was really pulling my head. Keep that spine separated, don't let it collapse on itself. And just reach over. If you got a pole, you can grab a pole, lean into it, you'll feel a great stretch along your body. Let's take it to the other side. Arms straight. Get that stretch in. And then lengthen through your body. You're working your abs, learning how to support your spine. Stretching out those lats for some healthy shoulders. 3, 2, 1, relax. Next one. Work on bringing your shoulders down first. I'm squeezing my shoulders, right? Rotating them back as much as I can. Bring the hands to the head. Shouldn't be any clicking or popping. See if you can hold those muscles in place with your back. If you even can see what I mean. And we're just gonna squeeze your back muscles like you're trying to touch your elbows together. Push the back of your head into your hands and hold back. Kind of chuckled a little bit because I know that a lot of what I say is hard to understand, but you know what? You keep sticking with the movement and it clicks eventually. Just like with anything else, you just gotta keep doing it for a while. If I was more one-on-one, I could give you more cues and explain things in different ways. And relax. All right, let's take it to the next stretch. I like this one a lot. I'm gonna bring my right arm on my waist, as you can see. I'm trying to rotate this shoulder back, so I'm really trying to stretch out my neck and see if you can feel like this right shoulder. See, mine right now is being pulled down pretty hard forward. I need a lot of work on this one. So just kind of push it back. See if you can notice the other side. This one's not so rotated as much. Feel a great stretch through your neck. 3, 2, 1, and relax. You can bring your hands to your thighs. I always do this kind of stretch, hamstring stretch. Usually better to do it on an incline so you don't put a lot of pressure on your lower back, but you can also do it here. I feel the stretch fine in my hamstrings. And if you want to take it a little further, keep your back straight, and everything hinges at the hips. The hips just hinge. I just fall forward. I don't round the back. Remember, we're going to squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your butt muscles to pop you up. Pop the hips forward. Takes pressure off your lower back. Let's try to find a wall. Put the ball of your foot as high as you can on your wall. So you see how close my heel is to the wall. Very important. That way we get real deep in that stretch. Then you're just going to pull forward. If any of these feel tight, we're only going to hold it for a couple of seconds. Go back, hold it for at least a minute. You can take a minute out of your day. You're going to feel so much better. And switch to the other side. It's like, what has more value? Eating a piece of candy, or watching TV and not getting up for 1 minute to just stretch. Or does it have more value to get up, stretch a little bit, feel great, do that consistently through the rest of your days of your life? Because movement is life. I'm going to pick the other one, right? All right, we got hamstrings. Take it to two more stretches. These are all fundamental stretches. The hamstrings right there, the calf muscles, the groin area. You can always, again, just put your hands on your thighs. Feel it good here. You can take same hand to the foot. Feel it a little deeper in the thigh. Down the middle. Take it out as wide as you want. See if you can take the opposite hand to the foot. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Take them to the other side. Squeeze your glutes to come up. Squeeze that butt muscle to bring you up. All right, last stretch is the hip flexor stretch. You can always grab an incline or something if you need to balance a little bit, take some pressure off your knees. That way you can really focus on keeping your body up and sinking down into the stretch, pushing into the hip flexor. Stretching is part of your workout too, all right? Don't neglect the stretching. We'll switch sides. Working out should be not only about contracting the muscle, but do you know how to relax muscles? They go hand in hand. If I contract my back muscles, I can take a lot of pressure off my upper traps. A lot of us get real tight there. We need stronger back muscles. When you feel the upper traps get tight, you activate those back muscles, these relax. Even just working out the traps. If these traps get tight, do some shoulder shrugs. That'll relax them. And relax. All right, y'all, thank you again for joining me on another great boxing workout. Today was nothing but straight punches. This was a really good workout, especially for a rest day. But you can see you can take it as high as you want to the limits as you develop your muscle contraction and your coordination and all that kind of stuff, and your speed. So again, thank you Baylor Fitwell for having me. Thank you to Movies Waco, and thank you for watching this workout, making those changes in your life that are going to do really good things and just spread throughout your community. All right, y'all have a nice day. I'll see you next time.